Hidely ho, Drinkerinos. It's another episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast with me, Steve Kuntz. Today we are talking all about legislation. Yeah, hot, sexy topic. Specifically, new state Senate bills that passed for brewers and distillers in Idaho. Really excited about these new bills. Even though it was kind of a weird route to get there, we're going to talk all about those. Plus, we're going to have the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar and maybe some other stuff. Maybe we'll talk about wine. Maybe we'll talk about another podcast I was on. All sorts of fun stuff coming up on this episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast. The show brought to you by Boise Beer Buddies. Cost of pints got you down? Be a buddy and join Idaho's premier club for saving big at the bar. You'll get discounts at just about every brewery in the state, plus a lot of your favorite craft beer bars, wineries, and specialty shops that sell your favorite brands. Use my promo code BOOZEPOD and get 2-for-1 cards when you visit BoiseBeerBuddies.com and sign up for your buddy card. Be a buddy and save with Boise Beer Buddies and my promo code BOOZEPOD at BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Welcome back to the show. We have just me today. We're just going to do a little solo show, hopefully a little bit shorter than some of the other ones. I know, I'll give you a little bit of a break here on this Monday, this beautiful Monday. It's spring, very springy outside. So we have two new bills that passed through the state legislature, 1258 and 1301. Both of these bills are aimed to loosen Idaho's restrictive liquor laws. And I'll just go through. Let's start with 1301. 1301 is the one that's going to allow breweries, small breweries, let's be specific about that, to have up to 2 remote retail locations rather than just one. So what this means is brewers can now open up a second location. So they could always sell beer out of their brewery. So that would be like, location 0. Then they could open like one more, because you're only allowed, if you're a small business in Idaho, you can do as well as you want unless you sell beer or wine or booze. Then you have to go through the state and you have to get new laws passed and you have to do jump through a bunch of hoops in order to make a buck in the state, because, everyone else, everybody in ag, everybody in candles, everybody in ice cream, they can open up as many spots as they want. They can sell out of parking lots. They can do whatever they want. But if you sell beer or booze or wine in Idaho, then you have to go through the government, hire expensive lobbyists, and get things done that way. So this one, the new breweries bill, this is from our friend Mike Garcia, good friend of the show, over there at Loose Screw, and was brought to us by, Meridian State Senate or Burnt or something like that. So this is going to be small. The small brewery thing is not important now, but might be in the future. So basically what that means is you're a brewery that produces fewer than 30,000 barrels annually, which none of our breweries do. So I don't think one brewery in the state produces even close to that. So that's not really going to matter. But what does matter is that now the breweries are able to open that one other place. So in a state, basically the thing that I've always thought about this is the state is so divided. So, and I don't mean like, theoretically, I mean like physically divided. You have the northern part of the state, which it's in its own time zone. It's not even the same time zone as the rest of the state. So the northern part of the state has its own thing going on, and you got all the great breweries out there, up through the Panhandle, Coeur d'Alene, everywhere else, where they maybe had their brewery and then another spot up there, but could never open like in Sun Valley or McCall or any of these places where we have a lot of tourists and where a lot of people might go. So then we have the places down here. We have like Sockeye and Mother Earth and, everyone else down here that could always open their, where their production goes, and then like one other spot, but couldn't open anywhere else. So that's really restrictive for down here, because we have all these population centers now. We have Nampa, Caldwell, Boise, Eagle, Cuna. There's all these spots where like you wouldn't want like a Mother Earth tap room to be like in all those places, like on Indian Creek, in downtown Caldwell, or, out in Ketchum or in Haley or any of these other spots. You can't have a satellite place. You can't do any more business than what you could do before. So now you can open up one more location. And the nice thing about it is that you do get that one more location, and it's a really great, it's a boon for a lot of the people that run breweries and own breweries and stuff here in the state. But it also sort of does this thing where if you open the second location and that goes gangbusters for you, like let's say McCall, Mother Earth decides to open up in McCall. So they have their brewery in Nampa. They have the tap room in downtown Boise, and then they have another tap room up in McCall, or maybe a restaurant concept or whatever Dan wants to do. So he's doing gangbusters in all three of those. Well, what if he wants to do better? What if he wants to expand to Coeur d'Alene? What if he wants to expand to Pocatello? What if he wants to expand to Sun Valley? Well, then he would have to shut down one of his other places in order to open up in Sun Valley or wherever. Jake had to do this. He came on the show and talked about it. They had to shut down the Lost Sushi Shack or whatever it was called out there in Harris Ranch because he wanted to open up in the North End. So he had to actually shut down there to open up in the North End. It doesn't make any sense. Like if he doesn't have to shut that place down, if the market tells him that he can have that location and that everyone is happy with it and people are going there and having a great time, why should he have to shut that down in order to open up a new one? So the other issue that this brings up is that anytime now, say, Sockeye or Mother Earth, any of these places, if they want to open up a third location, they have to go back to the state Senate. They have to hire lobbyists. They have to go through this whole thing again and get a third location. It's just like, I don't understand why they put a cap on how many places a brewery is allowed to have when it's owned by people that live here in the state for the most part. It's operated. People here like them. So why can't we have more of them? Why do we need the state government to get involved to open up new locations? Stella's Ice Cream doesn't need the state government to open up new locations. I know everyone's saying, well, because it's beer. Well, so what? There are plenty of Applebee's and there's plenty of Chili's and there's plenty of other places that have the ability to sell beer, wine, and alcohol and have multiple locations. It just doesn't make any sense why the state has to be involved with this. I mean, I know it makes sense. I know the reason why it quote unquote makes sense, but it's ridiculous. Anyway, but I do want to get back to the positive. It is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens with this. I can't wait to see what the first one is. I know Mike Garcia obviously probably has plans to utilize this new law, although he could have before. He did close down that one on McMillan, so he could open. Now he can open up to 2 more. And then I'd love to see what some of the other places do. I'd like to see like maybe Sockeye opens up a place. That would be awesome if they opened up like in Sun Valley or McCall or somewhere like that. That'd be really cool. So anyway, if anybody from any of those breweries wants to come on the show and talk about any future plans they may or may not have, the phone lines are open. Okay, the second one, this is Senate Bill 1258. And we had Andy Koenig on, or we're going to have Andy Koenig on the show to talk about this. But 1258, this one allows distilleries. This is a really weird one. And not just this state Senate bill isn't weird, but the law that precursors this one is very strange. So there is a liquor law in the system somewhere, which gives me a cluster headache, that says that if you are operating in unincorporated county and not in a city, and you're a distillery, and you're a small distillery with an orchard, you cannot sell your own booze as drinks at your own distillery. It's very weird. It's like, what are you people in the State House doing? Why are you wasting so much time coming up with hoops for people to jump through just to sell a fucking margarita? Like, seriously. So this new one's 1258. We're really happy it passed. I should say this really helps Koenig. It helps some other little distilleries that are located out in unincorporated county areas. Now, this one allows a subset of distilleries to sell liquor by the drink, but only from brands it owns. So the state gives Andy Koenig the ability to sell drinks on his own property, which he pays a ton of taxes for, on his own orchard, where he produces everything that makes the drinks that he makes. He pays for all of it. He pays taxes. And the state is like, guess what? you can sell drinks, but you can't put any liquor in those drinks that you don't own. Why? Why is this a thing? So, okay, Bardenay, they have 4 locations. They make booze. I don't know what the loophole is that they use to get around all this crap. I know they're in cities, maybe that's what it is. They probably have, Kevin's a smart dude, so I know they're probably doing something smart. Poor Andy Koenig is out here in wine country at Sunny Slope watching everyone else be able to serve whatever they make. All the wineries can serve glasses of wine, flights of wine, bags of wine, pouches of wine, cans of wine, bottles of wine, whatever they want to do. They can serve it. They can pour it. People can go get sloppy on wine in Sunny Slope. That is, and we should, by the way, we should be able to get sloppy on wine in Sunny Slope. But they go to Koenig and all they can serve them is a thimbleful of whatever, of, the bourbon or the rye or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why you would make a law that specifically goes against distilleries that are in unincorporated areas of a county as opposed to a city. That doesn't make any sense. And then it doesn't make any sense why we needed a new law to say that Andy Koenig can serve drinks at his own property where he makes all of his own booze. And then to kind of weirdly put on that law, add to it, that you can only sell the booze that you make yourself. Why does that matter? Going back to my previous analogy, Chandler's doesn't make their own booze. I guess a better example would be like Applebee's or, anywhere else that's sort of a chain of places that serves alcohol. Red Robin, they don't make their own booze, but they can serve whatever they want. I guess they're not in the county, so that's why it matters. Anyway, congratulations. This is an awesome bill. I'm really happy about it. It's really great for our little distilleries that are out there, working away. And it means that they're going to be able to do better business. They're going to be able to get a license that's going to be the same cost as a golf course, which I guess maybe is cheaper. I don't know. And they don't have to serve food. And that was another thing they added in there, just like, and you don't have to serve food. It's just like a lot of these little stupid Utah laws that have made their way up here for some reason. And I'm just kind of tired of seeing, my friends and my, these people that I know that have been on the show that are nice people that are doing their damnedest to do an awesome job and make awesome things made here in Idaho, continually get sort of screwed over by the government. Although in this case they're getting what they want. It's just a lot of narrow definitions and little examples and all sorts of these little things that drive me insane. So thank you to the state legislature. Thank you for passing these laws. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to get something other than a bottle of wine or whatever out in the Sunny Slope. Really excited to see what all these little distilleries do with this law now that they're able to kind of, sell their own booze out in their own place. I think it'll be a lot more fun. And I think it's going to be great for our business, for the alcohol business here in Idaho, especially with the brewer one. A lot of breweries here, I know that's been a problem where they want to expand and they haven't been able to. And so now they're going to have the same rights almost as Applebee's or Chili's or Red Robin or any of those fine establishments. What else did the state legislature do? Let's go over what the state legislature did. All these important things. The bathroom bill. So this is a misdemeanor for anyone knowingly and willfully entering a public restroom that does not match their biological sex at birth. Wow, I know a lot of people are clamoring for that. Great job to the legislature for getting that on the books. Don't go in the bathroom that's not yours. Great. And I know this is tied to some culture war, and I don't care about it. And I don't think anyone else really does either. This is an insane waste of time. While they were wasting that time, they went ahead and reduced the budget. But I don't see a pay cut in here for state legislatures. No perceived pay cuts either. So everyone on the state you're going to stay there. It'll be good. What they do have, though, is 1% cuts and 5% cuts for Medicaid, Medicare, for schools, for art programs, for all the things that we like to use. So those things are going to get cut. Also, they went ahead and passed a flag restriction. This is huge. This is huge. Congratulations, by the way, to the state legislature of Idaho for this. $2,000 a day for flying flags not on an approved state list. The hell is this? What in George Orwellian nightmare scape is this? Flying flags not on an approved list. Last time I checked, we lived in a free country and we can do whatever we want. We have a freedom of speech. This should get challenged and shot down almost immediately. $2,000 a day, so the city of Boise can't put a pride flag up at City Hall. Yeah, well, I mean, if anybody cares about that, I won't see you, but I'm sure you'll be out there at Old State Saloon jabbing with everybody else, all the other 5 people that still care about gay pride and everything else. Look, if you're still rehashing this particular thing, you are about 20 years too late, and I think severely behind in what matters. I obviously am against this, not just for the pride flag, but any other flag that any other city wants to raise up. So you can, I wonder what's on the approved list. Is that one with Trump like dressed as Rambo? Is that on the approved list? Because that's a great one. I think they should go around to people's houses and fine them $2,000 a day for flying those flags, or flying the ones with like the Punisher logo on them. Those are the ones that I would rather see fined. I don't really care about the city of Boise putting a pride flag up at City Hall. I care more about the ones in the pickup truck with the American flag that's all tattered and gross and filled with grime and stuff that's flying off the back of a pickup truck that should have been retired years ago. That's the stuff I care about. That's just me though. I like the American flag. Big fan. Let's see, what else did they pass? Oh, there's a lot of culture war stuff. I mean, it's just like, look, if you want the rest of the country to think that Idaho is some backwater place on the map, then great. Keep passing these things. I, for one, am not. I don't like it. I don't think it's right that the state is spending time on this stuff. I'd rather them spend time on things that help, not these stupid things. And then, another one they did, where is it? They got a grant. They got a grant for something. I think it was for rural healthcare. That's what it was. They got like a several $100 million grant for rural healthcare, and the state actually spent time and passed a bill so that they could use the grant, which is crazy. And for rural healthcare, which is huge. Like, we need that probably more than anything else. We could also use a maybe like a burn unit in Boise. That would be great. Some other things that you could have probably spent more time on than making sure people knew which bathroom they're supposed to go into. So we're going to be right back. We're going to have the Boise Beer Buddy community calendar, and I think that's going to be it right after this. This show brought to you by Night Plumbing. Night Plumbing has been a trusted part of the Treasure Valley for over 20 years. Get the royal treatment with Night on everything from leaky faucets, sewer backups, water heater installs, even 24/7 emergency service. Go to nightplumbing.net or call 208-949-9680 and get the royal treatment on your next plumbing issue from the Treasure Valley's own Night Plumbing. And veterans, you get 15% off at Night Plumbing and nightplumbing.net. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kuntz, and we are thankfully done talking about the state legislature. Oh, man, what a grind. So Jack's Place in Nampa is having a paint party. That's going to be tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Get over there and check that out. This is the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar brought to you by Boise Beer Buddies. If you're not a buddy, go get your card today. Be a buddy. You know, we have an app. There's an app now, Boise Beer Buddies app. You can just go online and do the whole thing. You don't have to go find Stacy at any of these events. You can actually just go online and do it. The app is really cool too. It's got a little map feature. It tells you where you can go to get a discount and what the discount is. It has your card right there on the app. It's really neat. You should get the app. And Stacy, I need to get my card updated. So if you could take care of that, that'd be awesome. If not, I can take care of it. However you want to do it. So Tuesday, April 7th, so that is tomorrow, it's National Beer Day at Vantage Point Brewing up there in Coeur d'Alene. All day long. I assume they're going to have discounts and stuff. I don't know. Just National Beer Day at Vantage Point Brewing. So enjoy that, Coeur d'Aleners. Also going on at Jeremiah Johnson Brewing in Coeur d'Alene. This is going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. bingo night, and it's a fundraiser of some type. So get over there and help raise some funds. 6:30, Spring Mini Golf League starts at Pub and Putt. This is in Nampa. Check that out. That'd be fun. And then Exploring Wine Faults. This is going on at House of Wine. Kat is hosting an event, it looks like, to explore sort of, off flavors and stuff in wine. And this is like a big deal because a lot of people I don't really know what they are. I can kind of taste it when it happens, but I couldn't tell you like if a bottle is corked or anything like that. So yeah, go check that out. House of Wine, downtown Boise, 6:30. Exploring Wine Faults. And then Wednesday, they're doing a free tasting over there at Brewers Haven with Everybody's Brewing. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, also Wine Down with Mike at the House of Wine. Back at the House of Wine, we're going to wind down with Mike. I don't know who that is, but sounds great. 5 o'clock, Wine Down with Mike over there at the House of Wine. And then 5 to 9 p.m., there's a tap takeover going on at Warfield Distillery and Brewery. With Warfield. This is going to be at Cop and Ross over there on the bench, Warfield. So I guess our friend Dustin will probably be there. Dustin, you want to get on the show, talk about Warfield, give us a shout, man. We'd love to have you on. 5 to 9 p.m. tap takeover with Warfield. So that's going to be cool because it's both booze and beer. So a little bit of everything. That'll be nice. And then 7 o'clock, we're doing a Get in the Game show at Belmont Brew House. This is going to be lots of prizes and fun over there at Belmont Brew House. And first Thursday is going to be, it was last week. Okay, well, so there you have it, folks. That is the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar. I want to thank me. Great job. I want to thank, who is this? Idaho Freedom Foundation. We probably don't agree on everything, Idaho Freedom Foundation, but I like the cut of your jib when it comes to these new Senate bills. So thank you so much for that and putting that out there. I also want to thank everybody out there for listening. I really appreciate it. And you can catch me on the TV Tan podcast with my friend Bill Frost. This is one that goes down. It's all about TV. We talk all about TV shows. We talk all about what's coming up, what we're watching. I've been on the show before. This is my second time on the show. I actually co-hosted this one, and it was a lot of fun with Bill and I. We go way back, so we had a lot of fun talking about beer and wine and booze, and then TV. We did some Malcolm in the Middle. What else did we talk about? Oh, bad superhero shows. That was a fun little rant that I went on. So yeah, check me out on the TV Tan podcast. You can get that on Substack. You can get that on Apple Podcasts and wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. That's going to do it for the show. Once again, just thanks everybody out there. If you haven't, please subscribe, idahobooze.substack.com. You can get this delivered directly to your email address. And you don't have to go searching around on Spotify or Substack or YouTube or wherever else for it. You can just get it right delivered to your email address, your email box. I say address. I feel like I need to eat. So thanks very much for listening. I will see you guys next week, hopefully with Andy Koenig from Koenig Distillery. And we're going to be talking about his new tequila, which is a lot of fun. So until then, good day and good drinking, everyone.